So you wrote all of this because I gave my opinion and my thought process when it came to all of these candidates and didn't impart a single opinion of your own. Did I get that right? You telling me you went from Texas to Tennessee, no appointment, no nothing, purchased one of my nigga gal? This is exactly the mass mind control that I was speaking of. It takes a special person to respond to a video about mass mind control, to respond to a video encouraging independent thinking with the same old groupthink that we've been hearing for decades. And let me say this, for everybody who's not this person, this ain't even an asshole in me. Y'all know I like being an asshole, but I'll let y'all know when I'm being an asshole. Now this is building, because mines are like properties. Some properties are in decent enough shape to where they can be renovated. Some properties are already good and ready for expansion. Some properties have been very well taken care of, so there's nothing that needs to be changed. And some properties need to be burned to the fucking ground and rebuilt from the foundation up. This was an emotional response if I ever seen one. It is just astonishing to me the way feelings turn off ears. Great, vote for a convicted felon. Yeah, that felon shit don't mean nothing to me. I'm from Hollywood. Half the contacts in my phone are felons. Half the people I grew up with are felons. 3 of the groomsmen at my vow renewal 10 years ago were felons. But let's continue, because I have no problem making it make sense. I did before, I do again. I clearly stated that I endorsed Larry Elder because he was the only candidate that had an agenda aimed at solving any of the problems that disproportionately affect Black communities. I then said that I was drawn to RFK because he has a cause that's admirable and important, and that I will vote for him any day of the week if I didn't have an agenda that was important to me, because he has integrity. I continue by saying I wanted my vote tallied for Trump because I don't want a precedent set of parties bypassing primaries and choosing their own candidates instead of the people. I said one thing I like about Trump is that he's an independent thinker. And then I went into the reasons why I would never vote for Kamala. I never said this election was about integrity for me. I live in America. I live in reality. I know integrity in human beings here is few and far in between. That's why it's noticeable in the few who display it. The rest is blah, 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 blah. That's all it is. Yeah, I hope I get what I vote for too. You have no idea what interests Black men. Blah, 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 blah. Kendrick said it best. I can't fake humble just cause your ass is insecure. See, it's funny when you say things, negative about yourself. People could care less. But they want you to ignore the positive things about you also. Now I think I know so much more than the rest. But like the saying goes, hit dogs holler. And some may say, why am I even responding to people who unsubscribed? Because they still here. That's how mass mind control works. They can't go nowhere. They hit that unsubscribe button and then they one of the first viewers on the next video. It's the way it go. I got mind control over Debo. He be like, I'm unsubscribing. Yeah, he hit that button, but when I drop, he be watching again, but they're not gonna comment. No, they don't want you to know they watching that video. But what I really want to talk about today are the precedents. Like, do y'all even know why it's so important that certain precedents aren't set? There are several sayings like, give an inch, they take a mile. That's gonna open the floodgates. Things are gonna snowball. These are all sayings in reference to precedents. One of the more popular sayings in opposition to those, nip it in the bud. There are so many precedents that were set that affect Black communities in a negative way. What precedent did the Rodney King verdict set? What did that verdict tell police about their treatment of Black male subjects? Did it say, you better watch how you treat them or else? Or did it say, many of you can be caught on camera beating the dog shit out of one of them and you'll be just fine? Jordan Davis isn't dead because he was playing loud music. He's dead because the George Zimmerman verdict told Michael Dunn that in Florida, you can start shit with a young Black man, and when things escalate and you have to use lethal force, you'll be protected by a stand your ground law. If Michael Dunn wasn't given a life sentence, it would be open season on young Black men in Florida. But let's not just blame others. We've set some very bad precedents too. What a peaceful protest. We've told the world that no matter what you do to us, all we're gonna do is march down the street and make some noise. That contributes to the lack of consequence, which contributes to the negative treatment of our people. No snitching. All that did was tell all the knuckleheads in the neighborhood that they can do whatever they want to do as far as terrorizing the neighborhood, and they'll never face consequences from the neighborhood. You have law-abiding citizens also abiding by a criminal code. Meanwhile, 5 or 6 people know who did Whoop Whumpty, and you have mothers and fathers, black mothers and fathers, that can't even get closure on their child's death. These precedents destroy our communities. Now, as far as the election go, look, man, I get it. Y'all afraid of the big bad wolf. Trump gonna get in there and he gonna huff and puff and he gonna blow the White House down. But he's not who you need to be afraid of. We have to have foresight. We have to be able to see the play 20, 30 years from now. You have to be able to recognize when somebody is putting you in a position to fuck you over. 83% of black voters vote Democrat. Joe Biden didn't fall ill suddenly. He didn't face a medical emergency. That shit was planned out. The Democratic Party stole the opportunity for you to pick a candidate yourself, and some of y'all fail to see it for what it is. And for y'all's sake, I hope y'all don't get what y'all asking for. But let me say this before I get out of here. I say these things because they need to be said, and you need to hear it. It can never be said that I didn't put my best foot forward. See, a lot of people want to talk black community shit, but understand there is no such thing as loving black people, loving black communities, if you're lying to them. You don't have to let me know when you unsubscribe. I promise you, YouTube did not let me know when you subscribed.